The voice that didn't quit. A narrated true story of overcoming. I'm your narrator today, but I'm also the main character. My name is Ethan, and I used to bargain with staircases. The day this story really began, I was 37, sitting in a parking lot with a grocery bag tearing in my lap and a Dr. S printout on the passenger seat. Pre-diabetic. Blood pressure elevated. My phone buzzed, and I almost scrolled the fear away. Instead, I pulled a receipt from the cup holder and wrote a sentence I could hear in my own voice. I am training to be a man who keeps hard promises. Under it, I added a second line. No drama, only evidence. And taped that receipt to my bathroom mirror with the stubbornness you save for emergencies. I wasn't looking for a miracle montage. I wanted a plan I could do on a bad Tuesday when the world didn't clap. This is that plan. And this is how it turned one shaky morning into a life I trust. Day one wasn't heroic. It was a pair of shoes I'd laid out the night before, a phone on airplane mode, and 5 minutes of brisk incline walking until my breath caught rhythm with my steps. Then I built a small circuit that touched everything I need without poking every old ache. Box-height goblet squats to teach my legs control. Incline push-ups on the kitchen counter, elbows tucked and ribs stacked. One-arm backpack rows to wake my lats out of keyboard slouch. Suitcase carries down the hallway with laundry jugs to teach my midline to earn its paycheck. And a 35-45 second plank with a slow exhale. I filmed one set, winced at flared ribs, and wrote 2 cues on my wrist. Exhale to stack, and knees track toes. I left 2 clean reps in reserve on every set. Then I measured what mattered. Waist at the navel, max clean push-ups, and easy mile walk time. The notebook line that closed the day became ritual. Showed up, not perfect, proud. I needed structure, or the noise would win. So I opened my calendar and circled 3 45-minute windows like rent payments. Monday dawn, Wednesday lunch, Saturday morning. I texted my brother. Attendance buddy? If I ghost a session, call me out. My program stayed boring on purpose. A 3-day full-body split that hits 6 pillars every week. Squat or lunge, hinge, push, pull, carry, and core. Warm-up. 5 minutes of brisk walking. A handful of band pull-aparts, and 2 easy ramp sets for the first lift. I fixed my form with 5 cues and a camera I already owned. Squats and lunges. Tripod foot rooted. Big toe, little toe, heel. Ribs stacked over pelvis, knees tracking over toes, drive the floor away. Hinge and deadlift? Crack a walnut in your armpits to lock lats, push hips back like closing a car door, keep the load close, long neutral spine, finish with hips through, not lower back. Pressing? Screw hands into floor or bar, elbows around 45 degrees on push-ups or bench, biceps by ears overhead, brace before you press. Pulling? Chest proud, shoulders down and back, elbows toward hip pockets, pause and squeeze. Carries and core, zip the ribs, walk tall, no swaying. I filmed 1 set per main lift each week. I fixed one thing at a time. And if the last rep got messy, the set was over. Strong stopped being a number. It became a shape I could repeat. Food used to be chaos. I turned it into a rhythm I could keep even tired and broke. Calories set by goal. Body weight in pounds times 12 for fat loss. Checked every 14 days by trend, not mood. Protein became law at 0.8 1.0 grams per pound of goal body weight, spread across 3 to 4 meals. I built plates with the plate method. Half produce, a palm of lean protein, a cupped hand of fiber-rich carbs, a thumb of healthy fats. Breakfasts had 3 autopilot options: Greek yogurt with whey and berries, eggs with oats and fruit, cottage cheese with pineapple and toast. Lunches assembled in 5 minutes: pre-cooked chicken or tofu, microwave rice, bagged salad, olive oil and lemon. Dinners rotated salmon and potatoes with broccoli, turkey chili with beans and rice, and a 1-pan stir-fry from frozen veg. 2 to 3 liters of water daily. A pinch of salt after sweaty sessions. When cravings were loud, I used a bridge snack. Yogurt, berries, a few dark chocolate chips, and went to bed on purpose. Eating out stopped being sabotage. Protein first. Fries swapped for potatoes or greens. Sauces on the side. Water before the entree. It wasn't fancy. It was repeatable. And repeatable was king. Recovery became the equal twin of training. I guarded sleep like rent, 7-9 hours when possible, same sleep and wake times even on weekends. The bedroom turned into a cave, cool, dark, phone exile to the kitchen. I gave myself a landing strip. Dim lights, a warm shower, 10 pages of a paperback, 2 minutes of slow exhale breathing. A 5-minute mobility loop, untied desk hips and cranky erectors. Couch stretch, thoracic opener over a rolled towel, ankle rocks, and 3 slow, world's greatest reps. Between meetings, I did a 2-minute box breathing break. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6, so stress leaked out instead of compounding like interest. Every 6th to 8th week, a planned deload trimmed total sets by about a third, sharpened technique, and let me leave the gym with caged energy. Pain got a framework instead of panic. 3 out of 10, reduce load and keep the pattern. 4 to 5, change the variation. 6 or sharp, stop and walk. The goal wasn't to be unbreakable. It was to be repairable and consistent. Setbacks didn't book appointments. They just arrived. A head cold stole a Saturday. End of quarter deadlines swallowed 2 evenings. My right knee complained at the bottom of a squat. Old me would have called it proof I wasn't a fitness person. New me shrank the plan. 10 focused minutes, goblet squats to a box, incline push-ups, rows, a 30-second plank, until the timer sang. I swapped back squats for goblets when knees hissed, used neutral grip dumbbells when shoulders sulked, slowed eccentrics to own positions. I kept a resistance band at my desk for 10 pull-aparts before long calls. I printed a tiny 4-box grid, training, protein, steps, sleep, and checked it nightly with an actual pen because humans are wired to chase streaks. I taped 3 identity lines to the mirror and said them out loud when the house was quiet. I train on busy days. I choose protein. I never miss twice. Cheesy? Maybe. Effective? Absolutely. At 60 days, I chose 2 tests that felt like reckoning and promise. A charity stair climb in the building that used to make me pretend to check emails on the landing, and 6 weeks later, a novice deadlift and carry day at a community gym. Training tilted without turning circus. Zone 2 moved to incline walks and rucks with a backpack of water bottles. Farmer carries ended every lift day, heavier each week, tighter posture. Deadlifts stayed clean at 1 to 2 reps in reserve, bar close, lats on, hips through, neutral back. I rehearsed event days the way you practice a speech. Conservative warm-ups, chalk routine, breath on the pick, eyes on the horizon, a mantra ready when my brain tried to bargain. Own the setup, the rep will follow. Confidence, I learned, is conservative first attempts multiplied by 1,000 quiet reps when nobody claps. The stair morning smelled like wet concrete and cheap coffee. I started slow on purpose, shoulders soft, breath through the nose, feet like a metronome. At floor 6, the old voice arrived. Stop here, you always stop here. I lengthened my exhale, pictured the receipt on my mirror, and climbed anyway. At the roof, the sky was pink and my lungs were loud, but obedient. I didn't collapse, I laughed. 6 weeks later, under gulls and a crackling Bluetooth speaker, I stepped to a platform for the first time in years. Opener, crisp. Second, honest and heavy. Third, a tiny PR that felt like tearing up a script I'd been living by. Carries wobbled once, then straightened. I walked tall with chalk on my palms, and a grin I hadn't met since college. I didn't leave with a medal. I left with a mirror I trusted and a notebook full of evidence that didn't care about my moods. 90 days after the parking lot vow, my doctor read numbers that sounded like a story with a different ending. Blood pressure inside the lines, resting heart rate down, waist -3 inches. The elevator turned optional. Stairs turned into background noise. I wrote a debrief because winners debrief. What worked? Protected windows, protein anchor, progression ladder, zone 2, sleep ritual, carry finisher, identity lines, what to improve, earlier taper before events, more upper back volume, steadier hydration on hectic days. I set the next target. A sunrise bridge run in spring and a second strength day in a year with a total 5 kilos higher. Not because the world needs to clap, because the calendar and the mirror do. If you hear your story inside mine, borrow my system and put your name on it. Tonight, write your why on paper you can touch and tape it where excuses live. Block 3 45-minute windows in your calendar right now. Buy 2 proteins, 2 veggies, 2 carbs you'll actually eat. Lay out your clothes and fill your bottle before bed. Tomorrow morning, run this exact jump start. Full body A, back squat 308, bench 308, row 310, farmer carry 440 steps, plank 340 seconds. Later, a 20-minute zone 2 walk. 2 days later, full body B, Romanian deadlift 308, standing press 308, pull down 310, split squat 308 leg, Pallof press 310 or side. 2 days after that, full body C, lunge 310 a leg, incline dumbbell press 310, chest supported row 310, kettlebell swing 312, side plank 330 seconds dog side. Between them, one 30-40-minute zone 2 and one 12-minute bike interval. 8x 20s smooth hard, 100s easy. Keep 1 to 2 clean reps in reserve. Film 1 set per lift, fix 1 cue. Track 4 boxes nightly. Training, protein, steps, sleep. When the day explodes, shrink the plan. When the week wobbles, never miss twice. I'll be the voice in your head that doesn't quit until your own voice is louder. So here's the final line of my narration, and maybe the first line of yours. Epic isn't a soundtrack. It's evidence repeated until the world calls it inevitable. Put the receipt on your mirror. Put the window on your calendar. Put your shoes by the door. When your brain whispers later, answer now. When a rep gets messy, end the set. When a day collapses, take the win that still exists. Walk, plank, protein, sleep. Do that long enough, and the staircase that used to own you will become the hallway you forget you re-walking. The voice that didn't quit, it's yours now.